I'm sitting in my reserved study room, notes spread everywhere, laptop open, and this woman is standing in the doorway telling me her son needs it more than I do. Not asking, telling, like I'm the one who wandered into the wrong place. Okay, so finals week. I booked this study room 2 weeks in advance. 2 weeks. The library lets you reserve them online. I paid the hold fee. I had a confirmation email sitting right in my inbox. I got there early, set up my stuff, and I was maybe 40 minutes into a solid session, color coded notes, three different highlighters, the works, when the door swings open without a knock. A woman walks in. Mid 40s, tote bag over one shoulder, kid behind her, maybe 12 years old, looking like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. She glances around the room, looks at me, and just goes, "Oh, good, you're still here. We need this room." And I just blinked because I genuinely thought I'd misheard her. I told her politely, very politely, that I had the room reserved and showed her the confirmation on my phone. She barely glanced at it, just waved her hand and said, "Well, my son has a project due tomorrow and he needs a quiet space to concentrate." I said, "I'm sorry, I understand that's stressful, but I reserved this room. There might be other rooms available at the desk." She looked at me like I'd suggested she swim to another country. "The other rooms are all taken. This is the only one, and frankly, you look like you're just doing homework. My son has a real deadline." Just doing homework. No, seriously, she said that. Like my finals didn't count as a real deadline. I said, "I have finals too. I'm sorry I can't help." That's when it escalated. She stepped further into the room, didn't leave, just moved in and said, "You could finish what you're doing anywhere. He can't focus in open spaces. He has a sensory thing." And look, I hear that, I do. But that is not my reservation to give up, and she hadn't even asked nicely. She just declared, so I said, "I really am sorry, but you need to speak to the library staff. I'm not giving up my reservation." She tilted her head, actually tilted it like a disappointed teacher. "I'm going to ask you one more time, be a good person and let a child use this space." One more time, as if she'd asked politely the first time and I'd just been difficult. I turned back to my laptop, that was it. I just went back to my notes and she lost it. "Are you serious right now? I am talking to you?" I kept typing. "You are being incredibly selfish. He is a child, and you're sitting here alone taking up a whole room for yourself." Other people in the open floor area outside were definitely looking now. I could see them through the glass wall. She was loud enough that two people had taken out their earbuds. I closed my eyes for exactly 1 second, then I looked up and said, "I reserved this room. I am using this room. You are welcome to speak to staff." She jabbed her finger at me and said, "I know exactly what you are. You just love saying no, don't you? This is why young people today are so," and I cut her off. Not rudely, but I cut her off. I said, "If you don't leave, I'm going to the desk right now and reporting that you entered my reserved space without permission and won't leave." Her mouth went tight. She said, "Go ahead. Let's see how that goes for you." So I stood up. I walked out, went straight to the circulation desk, and explained what was happening. The librarian, calm as anything, picked up the phone, called the room's extension, got no answer, and then just walked over herself. I followed behind. When we got there, the woman had actually started moving my notes to one side of the table. My notes that she'd started stacking. The librarian stopped in the doorway and said, loud enough for the whole open floor to hear, "Ma'am, this room is reserved under a confirmed booking through tomorrow afternoon. You do not have permission to occupy this space, and you will need to leave now or I'll have to involve security." The woman opened her mouth, closed it. Her son was already backing toward the door. Kid clearly wanted zero part of this. And then the librarian said the part that made two people actually look up from their laptops and stare. "Also, if those notes have been moved or damaged, we will be reviewing the room camera." Complete silence. The woman gathered her tote bag, grabbed her son's sleeve, and walked out without a single word. I went back in, sat down, and I'll be honest, I said thank you to the librarian just loud enough that everyone could hear it. Was that extra? Probably. Did I mean it as a little performance for the room? Yeah, a little bit. Look, she moved my notes, my notes. She actually moved them. I don't feel bad. But honestly, was I too harsh? Comment below because I genuinely want to know where you'd have drawn the line.